Hello and welcome, friends and fellow digital hoarders. If you are here, it's because you, like us, have accepted that you might have a problem, and that problem is your digital backlog. Thank you for joining us for Digital Hoarders Anonymous meeting number 27.
Yes.
Did we decide that? It's 27?
We did indeed.
We decided it. It's kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous, except we want everybody to tell everybody in the world and not nobody. So please tell them that we are live on YouTube every week, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific-ish. If you can't make it live, we do post the video immediately after on YouTube. And YouTube even has this cool feature now where you can view the live chat that was going on during the show. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah. I agree.
So you can see what dumb jokes we were making and what dumb jokes people were making about us and calling us out for dumb things that we said.
Yep. It's inevitable.
Or if you want, you can listen to us next day on all podcasting services. You can listen to us while you drive to work, while you drive home from work, while you're smooching on your significant other.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. It's good music for that. Good music?
Good music?
It's good podcasting for that.
There's nothing I like more than a bunch of dudes talking in the background while I'm smooching.
Or spicy. Or
or
you can reach out to us on Twitter. You can reach out to us and talk to us about whatever you want, day or night. Talk to us about your video game addiction. That's a wrestling reference.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. You'll get it one day. One day when you're older. Or you can just reach out to us to tell us about that sweet deal you found on genital jousting.
I do want to play that game.
Yeah, I think
I really do. I don't think it's ever going to come to PS4, though.
Hello, my name is Alden, and I'm a digital hoarder.
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I am a digital hoarder.
Hello, I'm Doc Cupcake, and I'm a digital hoarder.
Good, you changed it. When you said Jeff last week, that really threw me off.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't know what was going on in life. Yeah. All right, Doctor.
Everyone, welcome to another great episode of Digital Hoarders number 27. Let's come on down. Let's get ready. Let's get amped. Let's have some fun. Because you know what time it is.
What's going on?
Time.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. Let's get ready to have some fun tonight because this week has had so much news that has been going down. I cannot tell you. I've been so ecstatic. There's just been so many moments. I wanted to shake it. Oh, yeah. We've been doing it. We've been having fun. Let's get into it. Gentlemen, let's have some fun. What have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Good Lord.
We got Mixer Doc.
We did. He's been whoa.
Do your MC. Oh, nobody can see. I guess, can people see you on Mixer?
Oh, yeah, they can see me right now. They
Hi, guys.
I'm pretty spicy right now.
Oh, my.
Spicy.
Spicy. Yeah, we got Quirkenstein, we got Rocker Dude, we've got Umpy, we've got the Lone Gamer. We've got a bunch of people up in this chat right now. So.
Shout out to Mixer. I guess that's what you have to do on Mixer, right?
Yo.
You can do that, but I'm gonna
do my MC Hammer dance.
No.
We can't play that song on this show. We will get sued for copyright.
He definitely needs the money. That's not even a joke. He totally needs the money.
So what have we been doing? Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go ahead, buddy.
I have been playing video games.
Oh. Good thing you're on this show.
Yeah, I want to talk about this a bit. I played a lot of the Sea of Thieves beta.
Okay.
I know Brandon's gonna curse me for playing on it.
Hey, I attempted to play with you. Don't forget.
That's true. Brandon tried to join in. So I played Friday night, and I didn't expect this. So I guess we're just getting right into my Sea of Thieves talk.
Knock it out, buddy.
I've talked about it on the show plenty of times. I want to like this game. I don't know that it's going to be a fun single-player experience. I do think it'll be a fun multiplayer experience, but I don't know how I'm going to schedule all that multiplayer time. I was a bit wrong. Playing single-player was super fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun, and I will be playing this game by myself some. That said, I went the next night, and I played it with a very special boy, Dan Rodriguez. Is he in the chat? I don't know if he's in the chat yet. I played it with Dan, and that was some of the most fun I've had gaming. Playing it with somebody else is so much fun. It's a blast. Just like the ridiculous stuff that happens, and every time you play, it's like here's a funny thing that's like a funny story. A new funny story has happened that I can talk about. I played with Dan. Brandon tried to get on and play with us. I didn't think we were going to get him to show up on an Xbox game.
They didn't want me to either.
They didn't want. So I guess Saturday night they just stopped letting people download the beta.
Even though it was supposed to go till Sunday.
Yeah, the beta went until Sunday, but Saturday night when Brandon tried to join, you couldn't download the beta anymore, which was a bummer.
Yeah, super.
He tried to get it running for a while. He was in our chat, and it was just kind of like he's like, I'm looking at this screen right now.
Yeah. They're like, just click on that. I'm like, I'm doing that.
And then like we're like, oh, I can't believe you just fell off the ship. Oh, holy shit, that's so funny. And Brandon's just like, I still can't get it to run.
Yeah. Hope you guys are having fun.
But we had a blast. Like there was a point where not Brandon, Dan was just like trying to get a cool map thing going, and he's just like, I'm not on the ship anymore. And I had to like circle the ship around and try to get him. I almost ran him over. The storm was ridiculous. I mean, it was a lot of fun. There, like at one point, he's like, "Hey, I think you can load up it yourself in a cannon. Just jump in that cannon. Let's see what happens." So I jump in the cannon, and I'm like, "Okay," because he can't see what I see. So I'm like, all right, I'm looking right where you need to go. Move it to the left a little bit. Move it to the right, just down. And he's just like, nope, that's good. Boom, fires me off. And I'm like, I had like a real moment there where I'm like, like, why'd you do that to me? And then I fly right by a skeleton, and I'm like, I'm going to try to shoot that skeleton while I'm flying. I don't know if you can do that. There's just so much, like, the world is just completely open to you to try and do whatever you want. And I don't know, man. It was really a blast. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. And so the problem there is, we talked about it last week, March is so packed with games that it just added another game for me that I need to get to. And I talked about it last week that I wasn't going to get Far Cry 5. And then I talked about how it reminds me so much of Red State. And I just spent the whole night thinking about, like, I love Red State so much. I need to watch it. I need to play Far Cry 5 when I can, and I have to get Far Cry 5 now when it comes out. So within a week, I have to get Sea of Thieves, which I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to have to get Far Cry 5 on the same day that I get MLB The Show 2018. And I don't know how I'm going to do any of this, all while I'm balancing Fortnite, which I've been playing a lot of. So I've been a social gamer more the last couple weeks than I've been in my entire life. We played Fortnite Monday night, me, Brandon, and PlayStation Bra, friend of the show, and Brandon's wife, Mary, and eventually, after I got off, Bra's wife, Brazier.
Brazier, yes.
I guess she doesn't like that name, but she's Brazier.
She has no say in this.
She has no say. And that's too, like, it was just so fun. Like, playing Fortnite as a group is so much more fun than playing by yourself. It's less serious. You don't take it so serious unless you're probably one of those people, but we're not.
No.
We just played it like it was ridiculous. But there were so many moments where you're like, that became a new top moment in gaming. Like so Brandon and I are running through the forest, holding hands, and Bra and Mary are off doing their thing. Who knows what they were doing? Brandon, did you check on that?
It was all good.
Okay.
Different houses.
They were banging on different houses.
Hey, now.
On different houses. No, not good.
No.
Okay,
Moving
along. We were running through the forest, and all of a sudden, we start getting shot at, and we get killed just in a second because we see a person shooting at us. We turn around and we try to shoot them back, and then immediately you see like a Civil War movie, like 7 people come over the hill to follow this person, and we're just like, shit.
Yeah.
And Bra's like, we're coming, we're gonna avenge you, and we're like, don't.
Where you at, bro?
There's like 7 people, and he's like, okay, Mary, hide.
Yeah.
And what she does is she hides behind a tree. She pulls out a rocket launcher, fires it at them, kills 3 of them.
She knocks down like 6 of them, and then Bra goes up and kills them, and then Mary kills them, and we're dead though. So
and then while we're dead, we're just watching. While we're dead and watching, and they've killed these 3 or 4 people. somebody else comes around the corner and 3 or 4 people jump at them and kill them, but they're not dead yet. Like
Mary and
like crawling,
Bra just crawling around.
And then, as that's happening, you can see it. If you watch Bra's stream, you can go watch Bra's stream on stream. You don't watch his stream. I'm talking like him now.
Watch my stream, bro.
Game on, bro.
Game on, bro. Fortnite.
Game on, bro.
Yes,
I
won. While they're like crawling towards the hill, just like hopeless, like it's just like we're gonna bleed out now. As that's happening, like 8 people on their team come over the hill like a Civil War movie, converge on the people that are surrounding them, kill the people that are around them, and then revive Bra and Mary.
And then they go on to win.
And then they go on to win the whole match.
It's pretty epic.
It was really cool. Those are the moments that in multiplayer gaming where you're like, I wish I did this more. And then let's say like all of the other times where you log in and you play with random assholes and you just get somebody that's like, I'm gonna kill you, you piece of shit.
Like me and Bra had.
Yeah.
Me, Bra, my wife, and the Brazier were playing, and our team, we were doing the 20 v20 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 v20. And
did you have a stroke?
Nope, I got them all. Okay. There was like 16 of us left, and literally just 4 spread across 4 teams there. So we were absolutely kicking their ass. And we were all up on a mountain. There was like 7 of us, and this one dude built out a plank so we could all walk and then get down to the bottom. And as me and Bra walked out, he decided to delete it, so we fell to our almost deaths. And I don't understand why that was, just to be an asshole. I really don't think there was any other reason other than that guy was an asshole. And then Mary was like, what's going on? And she comes walking over, and we're like, no, stay off that play. That's a Mary.
That's Mary's voice?
Hey, everybody.
What's going on, guys?
She doesn't have that. That's her. I married Mr. Hanky.
Get your fat ass over here.
Oh, God. That is Doc's go-to.
Yeah, it was just
the paper boy.
This is Doc's favorite cartoon character.
Is the pedophile?
Yeah.
Got a popsicle down here.
Oh God.
But yeah, but that's so they took away team killing in Fortnite, so that guy found a way around it.
Yeah,
they're just jerks.
Yep.
On online, but that's what sucks. Like you have all these great moments, all these fun experiences, and then you play with somebody that's just like.
I'm a dick.
Everything. Like it just makes you think I don't even want to get on here anymore. So I do want to make a bigger point. So once Sea of Thieves comes out, I want to have streams where we play together and play with people that like the show, fans of the show, friends of the show, whatever, family members. We get Brazier on again, but I don't want to play with random people. Like I hate playing with random people. It's the worst thing in the
random
world.
People suck.
But I can't believe how much fun I've been having playing online with. People I know. Anyway, have I been playing anything else? Yes, I played my poll game. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about the just yet. I think that might be it. Brandon, what have you been playing?
Obviously, I was playing that Fortnite game because I was mentioned in it a whole bunch.
Really?
Yeah. I played that and Deadbolt. And so one thing about our show that we don't try to do is be negative about games. We try to play pretty positive. That being said, I don't have anything positive to say about the Darwin Project. Like literally nothing. And I know Doc and I are kind of in the same boat. I think that with the Darwin Project, I think that's a really cool idea. Yeah. But there is way too much stuff going on in that one game that everything just gets buried, and I don't know who's played it, but there's literally no instruction. There's no guidance, which is fine. But if you're going to throw that much stuff at me, I'd like a little bit to understand. Like I was just running around trying to kill people, and then all of a sudden my guy's cold, and I'm like, wait. So you have to build a fire to warm up, because if there's one thing you should do in a battle royale game, it's sit in front of a fireplace and not move. Super smart. Really yeah, really, really fun. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to go back to it because I want to try it again. But if I was told to sell you that game based off of the few matches I played, I can't. Doc, you played it. What do you think?
So yeah, I tried it. I played it for some viewers this week, and I got into it, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I got a bow. I've got an axe. All right, let's see what else we've got. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It is in preview right now, and I was like, okay. And then I'm noticing that this director guy, that's another player, is giving all these other players these things. I'm like, oh, that guy gets speed. Oh, he gets armor. Oh, okay. Why the hell am I not getting anything? I was like, this is kind of unfair here, and I'm just like, this is a little bit odd. Then he's like, so I kill a person. I'm like, sweet, I'm doing pretty good. I took out, I'm doing this. Oh, I killed another one. Okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, this zone is invalid. You must move. So I got 60 seconds to get my rump out of there. And I'm like, okay, so what the heck am I doing? So I'm looking at this little digital map that he spawned in the corner of my cabin. I'm like, oh, I can see all the players. Thanks, guy. And so that was the advantage the director gave me. And then he's like, everyone hunt this. And then so I'm running to this next thing. And I was like, now nuclear zone. What the heck? So my area is getting nuked. And I was like, what the heck? What is going on here? And it goes down to this thing. I took 5th, but I was just like, okay, this is not so much fun, to be honest. I mean, I think they're I just really needed something more to it, because like PUBG gives me this interaction that I really, really like. It's like this quick, fun interaction, basically like viewers get from Fortnite when they're playing, and players, because you need that fun, fast paced. You got a lot of different things that can, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you can attest this. The only weapons that I ever got was the bow and essentially the pickaxe from Fortnite, and it controls like the pickaxe from Fortnite. So it is awful trying to hit somebody with it. Like I said, I think there's definitely something there. I just think they need to maybe just rein it in a little bit. Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask. I haven't played it yet. I will get to it. But do you think it'd be more fun if it's like a game that you learn and you know how to play it better? Or you think it's just like they're trying to do too much and it's just not fun?
I definitely feel like the more time you put into it, you just, instead of just being able to go in, and like people complain about Fortnite because there's too much going on because you have to build and this is like 4 different games it's like they took Don't Starve and Fortnite and PUBG and fucking other random games, jammed them all together, and they're like, hey, this might work together. I do think that if you put more time into it, I'm sure you would get the hang of it, but I don't think that's going to be a game that's going to call me back to put a whole lot of time into it. And I don't mean to sound like a dick. This will come off as a dick thing, but I'm not I don't want to hear the excuse it's in game preview, because they've been working on it. If they're ready to charge for it, then I'm tired of hearing game preview. This is the game. The fundamental elements of the game are not going to change. This is what the game is. They're just going to maybe make it a little less buggy. So I don't think it's a game preview thing. This is what they shipped. This is what they wanted. I just think it's too many cooks in the kitchen, basically.
Oh yeah, totally understand with the hexagonal, things. You have these hexagons, and they're just kind of working them things. I mean, it's an intriguing thing. It's their map style, so definitely we'll see how that pans out for them. It definitely needs a lot of love going through. I know they'll balance it. It is in game preview, so we'll see how it rolls out from there. So yeah.
What else have you been playing, Doc?
What have I been playing? As many of you know, I have been in PUBG a lot. So
you should stream it.
Oh,
for like 17 hours a day.
Yeah. I think I just did a 6-hour stream before the show. So, we finish out a full work day here. We put in the work. But no. What I have been playing at the end of the day, let me reach down here and grab it. Oh yeah. Got to get it out of here. Boom.
Yeah.
So I have been playing my new toy. I got a new one. Since you guys know, we gave away the other one to a needy veteran. So for Christmas. But yeah, so I am been playing that, having some fun. I got to get Moss downloaded and get playing that this week. I just been having fun with that. Been playing lots of time with the community and everything else. So it's been a really good week for me. I mean, heck, I was featured on it on Mixer, so it's good.
Nice, dude.
It's been a lot of fun. So,
are your shirts still up for sale?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I do have shirts for sale. So I don't know. Yeah, they're all profits are going to Sean Libre. So yeah, as a thanks for all his hard work and everything he's done for the stream.
I like the way you just mumbled through his name so that you wouldn't have to admit that
it sounded like you said Libre, and I'm like Sean Sean L.
Sean L. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's if you are watching on Mixer, the link is out there for you guys, so you guys can check it out. Yeah, Sean Labry. So I'm horrible. God, yeah, I'm horrible.
I was just joking with you. It's okay.
That was my favorite bit of Doc's talk from last week. Was what he called Nino Cooney.
Oh yeah, I forgot to call Nino Cooney Noonie.
I'm gonna play the Noonie.
Sorry, this has not become Dosh bashing.
It's Dosh bashing.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
It's a funny
thing.
This guy talks into a mic for a living.
Yeah, for a living. Are you kidding me?
A living on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Living on Wednesday nights. Yes.
That's right.
All right. So have you been watching anything? How's it been going?
Yeah, it's been good. I actually Oh, go ahead.
Have you won any chicken dinners lately?
Yes, I actually had an 11-kill chicken dinner with Jordan Andrew, who's in chat. So he and I knocked that one out. That one was pretty epic with an M4 Mini 14 combo. Yeah, I was on fire. I was wrecking. I mean, today we had a lot of kills, like just random. I mean, but I did kill Jordan a couple times by friendly fire today.
Damn.
So, yeah. Yeah, so it was a little bit rough.
Don't stand for that, man. Don't stand for that.
Yeah,
Jordan says he got 0 kills because you were getting killed yourself.
Yeah, Jordan,
even my brother killed him. Damn. The back of the head.
No love from the bathroom family.
No, the bathroom family hates
Jordan Andrews.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was quite interesting. So we'll see how it is. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of great news this week too, right, gentlemen?
It's the first really news heavy week that we've had this year, I think.
We got a game heavy month this month, and this was a good week. What's the first
start?
Let's start with Nintendo Direct.
Okay, I guess we could.
So
a couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, here's a quick Cliff's Notes version of Nintendo Direct. 99% of the games were Wii U games. Moving along. No, but they announced that sushi game, which is new, which kind of looks fun.
WarioWare, baby.
WarioWare, but that's a 3DS title.
I don't care. I'm all about it.
It's just weird to me that,
it is weird.
I think at this point, let's just strictly move to Switch. You want to make it your portable / your home, because I'm all about playing Luigi's Mansion again.
We're bad,
but I hate that it's a 3DS game. I don't want to play it on the 3DS.
Is it a remake of the first Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, it's the one from GameCube.
Okay, because the Luigi's Mansion on 3DS is amazing.
Well, yeah, no, this is there was the
Moon or whatever it's called.
This is the GameCube version that they're just bringing to 3DS. I just think that would have made more sense to bring to Switch.
The problem with doing that, and you bring it to Switch, so at least it's a new thing. But Luigi's Mansion New Moon, or I think it's called something Moon.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
On 3DS is better than the original Luigi's Mansion. Okay. It's got a lot of new to it. So I feel like if you're going from the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion, New Moon, and then going back to...
I think it's a Pokemon game.
Noonie. Dan, you're such a creep. If you're in the YouTube chat, I don't even know why Dan just said that.
I didn't even say it.
But it threw me completely off from the show. He said he can see my consoles and it's made his day.
That is fucking disturbing. Dark Moon. Dark Moon.
I don't know, spicy. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So if you go from that to playing the remake of the GameCube version, I think it might be a little disappointing, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just liked the GameCube game a lot, so I'll be happy. But what else? So obviously there's a big hitter at the end, but the other stuff that was coming was what were some of the other ports? Captain Toad, which literally every game that they said, I went, I have that game on Wii U. I never played that game on Wii U. So I do like my Switch, but I don't think I'm ready to double dip for those games that I already spent $60 on once and didn't play. So I will wait. But unfortunately, that's the bummer to Nintendo games is they really don't go on sale.
No.
Like Nintendo games will stay $60 for 2 to 3 years, and they'll be like, all right, it's 55. But then the big hitter at the end of the announcement was obviously
Smash something.
Yeah, I was going to think of something else, but I couldn't. Another game they announced.
Well, I had to say
just
words,
kill it.
so it wasn't just.
I mean, they are bringing, and another thing that came from that before we get into that was Crash coming to Switch, PC, and Xbox One. So that's good. Everybody likes Crash. Crash sold gangbusters on the PS4, so it's going to kill it. I think it's going to really do well on the Switch. I think that's a title that people are going to want to take on the go.
So, Doc, do you
Crash
feel like?
is. Oh, go ahead. What?
Do you feel like Xbox stole one from PlayStation?
Oh, time to get pathetic on here.
Crash is a sellout. No, just playing. Anyhow, I mean, more games for everyone. So, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. You really, you just have to have this kind of special when you start getting mad that a game's going to another console and that more people have the opportunity to enjoy it and experience the fun times that that game's going to allow other gamers to possibly have. So, I mean, we all know the things about first-party games, console exclusives, and everything else. But when a old game, let me preface this: old. We're not talking just a year. We're just not talking 2 years. We're talking a crap ton of years. I mean, from our childhoods, okay?
A crash ton.
Yeah, crash ton. So it's ridiculous when you actually think that someone would be this anal and butthurt over something.
That's a lot of butt talk.
Yeah, a lot of butt talk in one thing. But they're getting upset that actually Crash would be, oh my God, it's our little mascot. He was our PS1 mascot. I mean, you got a ton back then, okay? Let some other little kid have fun. I mean, it's going on Xbox. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Eventually, Crash games did come out for other consoles, so it's not just, like it was always PlayStation.
They're looking at those particular ones, but I don't get it. The flip side of that, it can also be said, it's the people that are so upset and offended that it's going to another platform, and then the people on the other platform who are now getting it, who feel the need to, like the amount of fucking ponies, I bet you're crying now. Like, shut up. Is Crash fun? Yep. Do I care that it went to Xbox and Switch? Nope. It's just not like, now if tomorrow they come out with, hey, The Last of Us is coming to the Switch, I would be a little bit more like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? But not Crash,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, UMP is right. I mean, Crash Wrath of Vortex was on the original Xbox. So it is nothing new.
They're just looking at those 3 particular ones have never been outside of a PlayStation platform. But guess what? They are now.
Well, I think, too, people just forget that it came out on Xbox, that Activision owns it and not Sony.
Yeah. That's why it was on Skylanders, for crying out loud. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm like, come on, man. A business is gonna business. It's capitalism at its finest. Is it hurting your stocks? I mean, are you that invested in the that game? I mean, do you have stocks in Activision? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I mean, these people don't understand that this is a plastic box that is meant for us to have fun, to share, and that is it. So yeah, enough of that. Talk about that. That's cool.
What's the other little announcement they
had? Smash?
Oh, that game.
Smash. They went from Crash to Smash.
And I wonder if Crash will be in Smash.
I bet he will.
It would make sense.
So we don't know yet if... So they announced Smash Brothers.
Correct.
They didn't say anything else.
What do you feel?
I feel like it's going to be a port of the Wii U version. I think...
With new characters, new skin, like a new dressing over it, essentially, because the Switch still isn't a powerhouse, so it's not like the things coming from the Wii U to the Switch are like, oh my God, look how much better that looks. They still kind of look the same, but I think because people are pointing to the fact that it's the Breath of the Wild Link, that's just a skin. Like, let's be honest, that's all it is. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, yes, it's been 4 years since Crash launched on the Wii U, so that's a decent turnaround time. But when they make those games, and they have a very long hype wagon behind them. And they're already saying that thing's coming out in a few months. That's why I don't think it's a new one. Now, love to be wrong for everybody who loves Smash. I think Smash is a game. I for those who likes that, live and breathe Smash, that's also, it is never, consumed me like that. I've always been like, hey, Smash, all right, but
I love Smash. I'm not obsessed with it, but if it's a new one out on Switch, I'd be more inclined to decide to finally get a Switch.
Huge selling, as if the Switch needs that, but that'd be a huge console seller for them if it was a brand. It'll sell regardless. But
what do you think, Doc?
I'll put it this way. You know me. I mean, I love my Switch. I've got my that was if everyone doesn't get the pun, me and Nintendo have a love-hate relationship. I've already sold it once, okay? So because I hated it. They pissed me off so much. But with Smash Brothers coming back, this is what I'm talking. This is the console of Wii U. So basically everything that came out on Wii U, I think we're just going to see get re-up-done and come to Switch. That's pretty much what you're going to do. I mean,
hell, what hasn't yet?
Yeah.
What big titles aren't coming? Donkey Kong's coming. Bayonetta is here. Hyrule Warriors is coming. We're thinking it's Smash. Mario Kart's here. What? Mario 3D World. Pikmin 3.
Well, hasn't the Switch?
That's about it.
It's very close, right? The Switch has almost outsold the Wii U already.
It's it will buy in a couple months. It'll outsold the Wii U in its entirety.
So why not? Why not start?
Oh, I agree.
Reaching out to that new market because these are good games.
Yes.
So why not give them to the consumer and let them play these games that they missed because they weren't going to play a Wii U?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm. Because I've already bought them, I just don't really because I still have some of them for my Wii U, so I'm not going to rush out and be like, oh, I got to buy it for the Switch right now. That's not me. I mean, other consumers that totally, 3 or 4, what is it? What did they sell? 7 million Wii U's or something like that? I forget what it was. It was some low number. But I mean, those people, they've already been there. We've already done it. We've played Mario Kart. We've played the others. But now, these new Switch owners, they've never got the experiences. So I'm happy that they get to experience these titles. I'm just not going to go out and rush and drop another $60 to rebuy that game. So, I was a day one Wii U owner. So, I got screwed by Nintendo. So I'm still a little pissed at them. I have a little bit of anger, I mean, if I had a knife. No, just playing. What I'm saying is it's just kind of crazy when you're expecting, this grand new console. Like my Xbox right now. I mean, I'm starting to get games we just got Burnout Remastered. I'm like, okay, from the 360. Okay, now you want me to pay another $30 to play it again. Why can't 30? I think it's $30.
It's 40.
Oh, it's 40. I'm not going that. No, they can shove that one. Turok I saw was like $20, and I'm like, what in the heck for each Turok 1 and 2? I was like, what are you doing? I was like, no. I'm talking. We're looking at like Pac-Man. And you're wanting to charge me $20 when I can emulate that crap for free. That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, come on. I'm like. If you're gonna want me to actually fork over another 20 to 40, bucks for something I had last gen, that thing better have something new. It better have up-res textures. It better have new stuff in it. I mean, that's how you're gonna really bring me in to buy this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we've got all these consoles. We all collect these. That's why we're here. We're digital hoarders. We have an addiction to just buying games. For
addiction.
The hell of it. I mean, addiction. Like I bought the Galactic thing, whatever you want to call it, the dwarfs, the new mining.
What a selling point!
Yeah, I don't even know.
Snow White.
Yeah, I don't know. What does it say? I, for one, believe that we shouldn't have to pay $60 for a remake. Sure, I could be like $5. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, they just need to do something. I mean.
You can't. You still have to charge. You got to remember that when games. If it's a simple port, like if it's a simple port, then the price should be low. But you look at, Shadow of the Colossus is just a simple, remake. But no, the amount of time and effort clearly poured into that game, they deserve the $40. I don't know what Burnout looks yet. I've kind of heard it doesn't look a whole lot different than the backwards compatible, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say that. But they did include all the DLC.
Yeah.
So I mean, $40 to me isn't bad for a fun game that has a lot of replay value. That maybe you missed out on the last gen with all the DLC. That's not a bad deal in my opinion. Now,
Let me tell you though, they released a $40 remastered version of a game that you can play now in a very bad month to do that. If they had released it in January, I might have gotten it. I'm not getting it this month.
No, there's no denying that. But I don't, as far as charging whatever for remakes or remasters or whatever, I think it depends on the amount of love that's being poured into it. So, like, another piece of news is, so Blue Point did the Shadow of the Colossus remake. They announced that they're doing another remake. There's a lot of speculation going around about what it is. I personally think it's Demon Souls. But that game's going to look gorgeous because that's what Blue Point does. So they have every right to charge 40, 50, whatever. But
I totally agree. Like Shadow Colossus, you guys know my opinion. I mean,
yeah.
Viewers out there, I mean, you all know me. I'm Xbox as Xbox gets. I mean, hell, my car is branded Xbox. So
and PlayStation.
But what I'm Shadow of the Colossus is the pinnacle of what remakes need to be.
For sure.
That one stands like holy okay. I'm like, wow, that is what it needs to be. Kind of like Wookie says in the Mixer chat, they need to bring back Metroid Remastered. If they do that, that is something that I would be willing to fork over so much money, because like that would be a solid thing for me, because
there's a lot of rumors about a Prime trilogy remaster being worked on.
That would be awesome, I mean, I get it. We're in this funny phase with games because a last gen and you're capturing so many new ones. They're wanting to get these older titles to sell to fund their newer titles, if that makes sense, because that's what's happening here. If people don't realize, you see that these remasters happen, so newer games of that. So we're gonna see that. I mean, if they made a Metal Gear Solid remake, if they actually did that, holy, how much that would sell? That thing would sell hotcakes all over the thing.
4.
Blue Point did the Metal Gear HD collection as well, so they already they're another company that has the rights to it in a way. So
but what I'm saying, like, how do I put it? Like Halo, they tried the remaster, the Halo collection kind of thing, and they're trying to make those kind of things, put those games in people's hands. It builds interest in these, titles, and that fan base grows, and I think that's what needs to happen a little bit more. But like Umpy's saying, and everyone else is saying, there needs to be kind of a differentiating price point for other people for these games. Like remasters don't go above this. There's no way in hell you're going to charge $60. I'm sorry, you don't.
I think there should be a differentiation.
I don't even know if I've seen remasters that are 60. To be honest with you, they always seem to come around 40.
About 40. But
except for I think unless it's a Switch game, I think the Dark Souls 6 remastered will be. I think at 60.
I do think they should differentiate the types of remasters that we're getting. Like Shadow of the Colossus was a full-on remake.
Yes,
I mean, they rebuilt an entire game, whereas Burnout Paradise was probably worked on a lot less than.
I think it took like a week. I was watching some people stream, and I was like, did they literally just use the power of the Xbox One X and just say, okay, it'll just do its thing and just kind of make things look sharper? Or, I literally, that's when I watched it. I was watching Maka stream it. I was like, I mean, it looks great, right? Like, it looks cool, but it has that damn Vengeance, whatever. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. That stupid glowing effect. That's all around it, if you remember from that game, but it had a glow kind of thing. And Bloom, thank you. And it just really kills me with it, because it's like, you're trying to charge me that. Well, you just said it's $40 for something that I would rather just play, with 360 graphics, because that up-res kind of thing doesn't warrant that big of a price unless you're going to just get all new achievements.
Now, that being said, I just looked it up on Amazon. If you wanted to buy Burnout Paradise for the PS3 brand new or the Xbox, it's $22. By the time you throw in all your DLC, you're still back up around $35, $40. So
I don't even think you can buy the DLC in the old version.
Well, that's even worse. So that being said, no, I don't have an issue with that, because it's a good question. I don't know if you can, but I mean, it's half the price of that game with a lot more content. I don't have an issue with that really. Like that's like saying they shouldn't put out Game of the Year editions because you can just buy the stuff separately. You know, but I have no issues in dropping 40, 30. Hey, if you have just get the Best Buy plan here, so you get it for 30.
But, and what it all comes down to me, I think, is if you don't agree with the price point, don't buy it at that price.
Of course,
point. So, the consumer has the option to vote with their wallet and say, "Nah, I'm not going to do that," and just not do it. And so, if you feel like that's too much to pay for a reskinned Burnout Paradise, don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at with all this. I mean, I'm pushing 1,000 games across on my Xbox alone, you know, and then we're pushing 100 on the PS4 now after the holidays. So, I mean, it's getting up there, but it's like these backlogs. It's like now I'm starting to like, do I really want to slide that in? Because I still have that from the last gen. That's where I'm at with it. You know, I'd rather spend that 40 on something new and let it sit there, if that makes sense. I mean, because like this month we have so much coming out this month.
So much.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Sea of Thieves dropping next week. And then, I mean, my mind is just crazy. It's just...
my mind is crazy.
I mean, God, I mean, I'm just so excited. There's so many games within these next 2 months alone because we've got God of War, we have the Sea of Thieves, you know, we've got baseball coming. 5, Far Cry 5. Jeez, Far Cry 5. You know, and I mean, Jesus, doesn't that game just look amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what other news have we seen that popped up this week? We had a whole list of things that happened, and I completely forget the rest.
Well, you already touched on this. You already touched on the Sea of Thieves beta. Again, I try to be nice, so I will avoid talking about the Xbox, whatever that was.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about that.
You go ahead, because
Xbox has a new floor space, or not even a floor space. They have a new venue where they.
Oh no, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about that. What was that thing called, Doc? The QVC infomercial that they had.
Oh, you're talking about the Insider thing.
Yeah. I won't. Yeah, they had that, which is cool.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was fine.
It's a little too cringy for me. A little too cringy.
I thought it was good. It did what they needed to do. They didn't need it to be this big blowout E3 kind of thing. It was just an insider event. So it was for fans of Xbox who are excited about Xbox things, and it was interesting, I think, to them. It's not going to be interesting to people who don't know the ins and outs of a game or care about the ins and outs of the game. It was cool. I mean, it was fine. They
showed off a white system that comes with. He got really amped to be like, and look at this.
I thought you said you were going to talk about it, Sony.
No, I'm going to now. He says, look at this, and then it's just the standard bundle with Sea of Thieves. Like, that's cool, but like, let's, I don't know, maybe talk about, like, they did talk about it, and they showed off that 24 karat gold Xbox One X. It was an X, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a Scorpio edition. Yeah. So they showed that off. So I mean, I don't know. It did feel like a QVC infomercial to me. It's what it felt like to me.
That's what they're trying to sell you their stuff.
Well, and I think this is one way to reach consumers. You have to understand, the way people are consuming content is through social media and through these streams and everything else, because this is, one way to attach it. When I look at the analytics of streaming and by judging, this, Brandon, how are people consuming their content? Where are they getting their information about products? It's either by word of mouth, from a friend. You're going to get it from social media or some posts and that stuff, or they're going to watch Twitch or Mixer or YouTube. And so this little monthly episode, I mean, there was 20,000 people watching that alone live. And so people are consuming this, and then people are going to word of mouth about these products. Like, oh, cool. Did you hear about the Duke controller? Oh, did you see that Sea of Thieves thing? That looks pretty cool. Maybe I should check that out. Oh, that Game Passing. It's only $10. Oh, wow. That, that bundle. It's, these kind of things are going to get word of mouth, and they're going to start rolling down. I mean, this is a new approach. We're looking at a new leadership that's actually trying to approach their community in a different method that will allow, and that's the only thing I understand. It some may.
No, I think it's a creative idea, but everything you just said, the people that tuned in for that, they already knew that. They weren't selling you on Sea of Thieves. You and the big Xbox fans are the guys who tuned into that. The mom and the kids who are wanting to find out did not tune into that. And I think that they have something there. I just think they need to turn the cheese factor down about 100. And I think they have something there. I think it was one of those that there was nerves, I'm sure, and there was fumbling around. And it's just one of those things that, and at no point did I expect it to be an E3 presentation. I'm just looking at it from the cringy, cheesy factor of it. But like I said, I admit that, yes, it helps sell stuff, but the people that watch that are already buying CFD. They are the die-hard Xbox fans. You're not getting a whole lot of people. That isn't going to get a whole lot of word of mouth that people are going to go, let me go watch that entire thing. Like, no, I think they have the makings of something for sure.
Yeah, it's the first episode. I mean,
yeah, they got to tell that. Fire the head writer and get
like when
else
you guys, when PlayStation had their little spot.
I agree. I agree.
It was the same way in the very beginning. So they're gonna take feedback. They're gonna work with it. I mean, it's even Phil, like chat saying, Phil did say they're gonna work on it. I mean, yeah, I saw the constant blue side going, oh my God, yawn. I mean, seriously. The blue side, like, were you really that interested in the green side? I'm like, you're just talking out your ass to talk out your ass. I mean, because you want these little things to be like, oh, I want to be noticed out here. You know, it's like, okay, it's going to be the same thing during E3 when people watch the Xbox presentation. Like, oh, this is this game. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's unfortunately
that's
Twitter.
How it's going to. Yeah,
that's just that has nothing to do with product or presentation or how that thing was or wasn't done. Like you said earlier, that was just like, I'd use your terminology, the green side saying that the PSX presentation was boring when PlayStation came out many times and said, it isn't going to be exciting. We're not really going to do anything here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was just, and that's the thing. And if you looked at the PSX side of it, hell, if anything, maybe they should have tried to have a little more cheese in it, like try to get some jokes in there. So, I was just, it's one of those things that like I said, I definitely think there's something there. And I think that would be cool to see. It's like a Treehouse Direct. It's like Microsoft's Treehouse Direct. But like I said, maybe get a better writer to pen the whole thing. And then just let your products speak for themselves. The guys in front of the camera were not doing a good job of selling the product. Let your product speak for itself because your product is awesome.
I think what it comes down to, though, is they're moving in the right direction.
Of course.
As far as becoming more fan centric and consumer friendly and almost more personal is what they are becoming more personal.
Yeah, you need to be absolutely.
They have to do.
Yeah, they're not. Sorry, Doc.
No. That's the thing with Xbox, and I mean, I've talked on this many times. I mean, people are going to go back to 2013, all this. You need to forget about 2013. It happened, okay? Kind of like PS3 happened with their launch, okay? Both had questionable launches, but they've totally went under rebranding, and they went through a whole reorganize and structuring. Look what PlayStation did. They reorganized, they restructured, and look where they're at now. Okay, from their bad launch to now. Now look at Xbox and look at where we're at now. They have totally restructured. They have shook things up, and they're moving more in a positive direction. And like PlayStation, this is a learning game. This is still an infancy. If you think about it, gaming is still a very young industry, to be honest, compared to other industries that we have out there. So, it's not to me. Okay, for Mixer, how close do you think Xbox is to be on top? I mean, it doesn't really bother me because if Xbox is where it's now, look what I'm getting as a consumer. They're working their ass off to keep delivering feature after feature, and they're trying. They're trying to buy me basically and get my attention. So I'm okay with that. So yeah,
it's one of those things that with my job, this is stuff that I have to know and understand and
critique
and have to. It's literally my job. This is what I get this question a lot when I talk to anybody. Is kind of along the lines of what Dark just asked. Let's put it this way: if this was a war, like some people like to say, the war is over. The war is over. PlayStation has marched to victory a very long time ago, but that doesn't matter because you're still getting the things that you like. You're still getting fun games. It's not like they turned off content. It's not like they stopped caring. And they're rolling out new features constantly. They're trying to get you back. That being said, yes, no, PlayStation would have to take their stuff off the market for 2 years for Xbox to equal sales. So it's not going to happen. But in the end, it isn't going to, stop Doc from loving Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3 and me from playing the hell out of State of Decay 2. And the fact that that Microsoft's not done is because they're trying new things.
Exactly.
Game Pass and better for consumers because they're behind right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
We went and got the the Game Pass, which it's consumer friendly. I mean, do I feel like I've lost? I've got almost 1,000 games for Xbox. How the hell did I lose? What the hell did I lose? I got a great console that I have tons of fun with, that I get to play with you guys, friends, and everything else. How am I losing? Tell me that, It's not me. I'm not profiting from anything. I get the enjoyment, so I'm winning. I win no matter what. Okay, so it's crazy.
Yeah. So can we talk about something I'm excited about now?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the love of God.
No.
I don't even remember what the tweet was, but so one of the developers at Naughty Dog tweeted out a picture of Spider-Man.
No. Insomniac.
Oh, I said Naughty Dog.
Now that would be a crazy Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Woo!
Joint project. Spider-Man.
Yes. There was Naughty Dog news, though.
There was. We'll
Insomniac.
Very.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I messed up. Insomniac tweeted out a picture of Spider-Man. I don't remember what it was for. What was it for? I don't remember.
It was
he just said 1 hour closer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1 hour closer. Yeah, 1 hour closer to Spider-Man coming out. And in the background of that image, people have pointed out, but right there, it is a picture of a calendar, and it is on the month of October. And I want to know, first off, I'm so excited. I want that game out so bad. You guys are well aware. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Oh. And I'm a huge Insomniac fan. I mean, I love everything Insomniac does. So those two together, I'm really excited for. And the news has come out that Insomniac personally requested to work on Spider-Man, which means it's a thing. It's a labor of love.
Yeah, it isn't something they were contracted to do.
Right, they weren't forced to do it. So Marvel and who was it that came to them? Marvel and Disney came to them and said, "What game? What franchise do you guys want?" And they said, "Spider-Man." Hell yeah. So I'm really hoping that means that game is out in October, and I wonder if it is related at all. And I don't know. Brandon might not have much to add to this. Contractually, I don't know what he can and can't say. But Doc and I can talk about it. Naughty Dog, or not even Naughty Dog. Damn it.
You'll get it eventually.
No. Days Gone got pushed back.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't ever close at all.
Goodness gracious. Aaron.
But with Days Gone and Doc and Alden and I talked about this, it makes sense because, they always talked about that being a later 2018 title. Call of Duty is now coming out in October. Red Dead is coming out in October. You cannot release new IPs against those two juggernauts. What was it? Oddly enough, Tomb Raider launched on the same day as Fallout 4, and that game just got buried.
Yeah.
Terrific game, amazing game. Everybody should play it, but it sold like dog shit because it launched up against Fallout 4.
It had legs. That's the only good thing, is it had legs to get through it, but I don't think it performed as well as it could have. I mean, as a marketing perspective, there was just no other choice, because originally, these decisions were made well in advance because it was supposed to be going up against Uncharted, and so that was supposed to offer one for the other, but then it got pushed out, and so, things happen. I mean, we've got a new one that was supposedly leaked, I think, right, today. So I'm excited for that. If everyone knows, I mean, according to CNN and all these great journalists out there, I should be an epic raider and treasure hunter because I spent so many hours training my skills. I mean, so whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And I mean, October is going to be pretty crazy this year, so we'll see. I mean, shit, you've seen what Xbox just announced? They got 18 more games today coming out. They just announced. So, I mean, like, games are coming. So that's, yeah. I mean,
it's a good time to be a digital hoarder.
Yeah.
It's a bad time to be married or engaged to a digital hoarder.
Or out of money. But I apologize if I cut off your Spider-Man rant there.
No, you're good. I'm just excited. I'm excited about Spider-Man. That's all. I really hope it's out in October. I don't care what it's up against. I will buy a million copies.
I know you will.
Just to move the needle.
Yep. Well,
I think that game will do well. Oh, sorry, Doc.
No. Good. I mean, yeah, I'm excited for that. I saw you had posted that picture, and I saw the counter. I'm like, that is intriguing. I'm like, I wonder if one of the circle dates, but nothing was on a Tuesday, but there was a Friday, so I was like, maybe. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But what did you guys think about the Xbox announcing their E3 going first again, of course, and changing the location, putting away and arrest all the rumors from people like, oh my God, Xbox is going away. They have no booth space. So
I think my opinion of it is I don't know why anybody cares.
Yeah, precisely.
So I don't know why anybody cared before. I don't know why anybody cares now. It doesn't matter how big your space is. It doesn't matter how small your space is. All that matters is that you put on a good presentation. If there's only enough space for 1,000 people to check out your games, it doesn't matter. The market is on the internet. So what you're putting on the internet for people to see is what matters. So it's cool. I mean, do whatever you want. I think it's a chance. It's an opportunity for them to slowly move away from E3 and not care as much about their E3 presentation, which isn't a bad look. Sony's been splitting between E3 and PSX for years, and it's done wonders for them because they've set up their own market in PSX because they can talk to their fans there. Nintendo's been doing their Treehouse Directs instead of worrying about an E3 presence. That's great for them. So I don't think it matters that much what you're doing at E3 anymore. So that said, I think it's great if they want to do that for whatever reason. I'm sure it's going to be good for Xbox, but I don't understand why anybody who's sitting at home reading Twitter and getting mad about dumb shit like Kratos not jumping is worried about how big Xbox's E3 space is.
I think no. I totally understand. I mean, I've watched Porto. I saw Kratos and all the others, going in at it and giving their 2 cents, which I find interesting because I know they're so down the rabbit hole that sometimes they can't see beyond it, and which is intriguing because we as gamers of all platforms and everything else that appreciate just the pure fact of games, we understand that. Kind of like PlayStation has had their outside tents right outside E3 for as long as I can remember, right? Fans can go there for free, right? Sorry about that. Xbox is basically, they're taking over that whole square right next to the convention center and all that area. So you just basically opened up your market. You should just be happy and celebrate that. Cool. Okay. More people get to enjoy games. They're going to get to do it. They're being more fan centric. Oh my God. Where does that come from? Holy shit. The past 2 years, they've been just hammering down fan. So here you go. It's just keeps building. So, yep.
Yeah, but you touched on those guys. That's people want to, like you, I guess you said down the rabbit hole. And like Alden said, I don't understand why anybody cares. It's in the same, we can be flipped around to fucking Mooch and crap and all those guys. Like, why do you care? No, we don't. Like, I work for Sony PlayStation. I don't give a fuck what Xbox does. If they're there, if they're not, and that's not because I don't like Xbox. It's because I don't care. Like, whatever they do there doesn't faze me from being the consumer. Like, I don't really fucking care. Like, I'm glad that PlayStation's there because that's my job and I kind of need to be there. But other than that, like, if Xbox wasn't there, would it look a little weird? I guess, but it kind of just is what it is. I don't think there's the toxicity side of it for sure, but there's also it would be weird if Xbox was completely not there. So I'm glad that they're doing what they're doing. It's the same thing that EA Play did last year. If it's going to be out, I'm guessing that's what to be honest with you, I didn't know that news. I was literally looking up as you guys were talking. So it sounds like it's what EA Play did last year, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, Devolver Digital did the same thing last year. They had a really small little setup across the street from E3 that I went over and checked out because I love Devolver Digital. But it's very fan-centric. And no, that doesn't mean that Xbox is hurting or losing touch. It also doesn't mean that PlayStation is not fan-centric because they're not doing that. That doesn't mean any of that. It's business. These are companies. Exactly.
I mean,
so yeah.
you after doing the same thing over and over and over and over, it might get a little stale. So why not change it up a little bit? I mean, shit, you're paying how many, hundreds of thousands of dollars to rent out this center, all the way down the street down at USC in a very shady neighborhood, mind you. It's bad. I mean, they tell you don't park past the street or you have the chance of getting shot, mugged, robbed, killed, all this stuff because it's that bad. I mean, police create a line there so you don't cross. So, I mean, and plus all the staff stay right next to that freaking theater. I'm like JW Marriott. Everyone knows that. You know that, Brandon. Everyone from the industry stays there. So why the hell would you be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on transportation when you could be centrally located? It just makes sense. So, I mean, people, you have to understand this. I mean, the few times that I've been there, it's just kind of like a totally experience that, I mean, and, it was a crazy experience for that, I don't know. But when you're there, for people who are like wondering, what is going on? Is it really that crazy in LA at that time? Mind you, you have to get there at 3:00 in the morning sometimes to be lining up for these kind of things. And it's pitch black and you have no clue and you don't want to be walking around in the neighborhood. So just saying.
Thank God for exhibitor badges.
Yeah. Yep. And also just stream it on Mixer, Doc, so you won't have too much to worry about.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm excited. E3.
Was there more news that we need to talk about? Or are we going to talk about?
No, I wanted to touch on Alden's leg.
No, too late.
Did it? No, I wanted to touch on the Naughty Dog news. Neil Druckmann got bumped up to vice president. That's fucking huge. Like, that's really cool to see, in my opinion, and I don't think that this is stepping out of line, one of, if not the most creative, one of the most creative game directors of our time, for sure. I mean, look at everything the man touches. It's gold. So I think that's really cool for a studio to recognize what he's done. And because a lot of times, like, obviously Kojima wasn't getting that at Konami, but I guarantee that thought never even crossed their minds, But to rest some people's worries, he is still completely doing The Last of Us 2, so he's staying on that project. I think that's very smart. And one thing that I've been lucky enough with this job is to have met him on a bunch of different occasions and have a lot of conversation with him. He's the nicest, most humble guy you'll ever talk to. So I'm so excited for him. It's rare to see somebody go from doing what he does to that high up in such a prolific company.
I think
huge
too,
company.
It's really important for Naughty Dog right now to do that because of all of the turnover they've had lately. They've lost a lot of people that have been integral in Uncharted 4. They lost Amy Hennig, then they lost Bruce Straley.
Yep.
So I think right now to say, no, we're doing okay, we're good. Probably, I mean, not just to the fans, because who cares what we think, but to the people working for the company to say, okay, look, nobody's leaving out of bad blood. Nobody's having issues. We aren't trying to get rid of people that we're having issues with. Neil Druckmann is VP now. He's a guy who's risen through the ranks and is now heading up you guys. So I think it is important for the games, and I think it's important for the employees, and I think in return it's going to be great for consumers.
Absolutely. Because
everything they do is gold, so keep it going.
Yep. Exactly. Well, I think that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm excited. Jeez. Wow, we talked for a long time. I'm sorry.
He's not done.
Yeah, we got to talk about Metal Gear Solid real quick.
No. I know. You guys got a lot to talk about, but I think...
you guys?
Well, I mean, you guys got different things. Polls? Are we doing a poll?
You didn't notice once we started talking Neil Druckmann down. Stop looking at the screen. So he's doing his battle of the houses right now.
What they're saying is my mic is really low, is what I'm being told.
Oh, you sound great, perfect to me. Yeah.
All right.
You sound fantastic, Doc. In my headphones.
Maybe it's this end. So, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Do you want to do your poll? You want me to talk about my poll?
No, go ahead.
So last week, you guys voted on Metal Gear Solid for me to play in my poll because I had never played it, and it had gotten to the point where it was so deep in my backlog that it was hard to get to. I started it. I haven't finished it. I'm probably about a third of the way in, maybe closer to halfway through. Between Sea of Thieves and Fortnite and playing online with people, I haven't gotten to as much Metal Gear as I wanted to. One thing I'm noticing, it's a fun game. It's good, and the further I get on, the more I like it. and I knew I would enjoy it. I didn't realize how campy it was, but as soon as you know that is what is expected, I knew that it got campy. I remember people talking about Metal Gear Solid 5 like that, but I didn't think it started that way. I knew that it's been compared to like an 80s movie a lot, so it's great. That said, a lot of the mechanics don't hold up to modern day games. There's some issues that I've had in some games or in some levels now where I'm stuck because I didn't realize that the game wanted me to do this, that, the other. There's the lasers that go up and down. But to me, watching it in those old, 1998 graphics, what are you doing down there, buddy?
Yeah, you don't want to know.
In those 1998,
buddy,
every day, those 98 graphics, the laser looked like it was going like forward and backwards, so I just could not figure out how to get past them because I didn't realize what they were doing. I had to look it up online and see, what people do there. There's been a few spots like that. There's the tank fight where you're getting shot at from off screen.
I remember.
So you don't know in a modern game.
What the?
Yeah, in a modern game, you would know, you'd be able to see that, or they'd figure out a way to show that. So my question, I've always wondered this, and I've been thinking about it more and more because of Metal Gear Solid. Can you compare new games to old games? So when people make their top 10 list of games of all time, Metal Gear Solid is on there all the time. And I get that it's a pivotal game, and if I had played that in 1998, that game would have been so important because it did things that no games were doing at that time. It was doing things that were unheard of. So, of course, it's not going to be perfect because they're really pushing the envelope. So, can you say that that's a top 10 favorite game of all time, comparing it to what's another game that's like that?
What, in the vein of just Metal Gear Solid 5?
I don't think Metal Gear Solid 5 is as loved because of the off the rails story.
I don't know. I'd look at those reviews on that bad boy again. That thing sold gangbusters, man.
Yeah,
that game is renowned. But it's the thing about it, because you and I talked about that. It's hard to take off the nostalgia glasses and see that game isn't what you remember it being. So I don't know that there's an answer to that because it's impossible to do that. It's impossible. Yeah. Like, I can go back now and watch Saved by the Bell and like it because I like Saved by the Bell, and also go, dear God, this is a terrible show. But I like it, because I grew up with it. So I don't know if it's possible. Now if you just got somebody who's never gamed and you sat Metal Gear Solid 1 down in front of them, Horizon Zero Dawn in front of them, and Halo in front of them, they're not, then that's the kind of person you ask. But I don't think anybody who's gaming as long as we do, I think it's impossible to answer that because you can't take the nostalgia tinted glasses off. At least I don't think you can personally. I don't think it's possible because it holds such a place in your heart.
Yeah, and so the game that I likened to it, sorry, Doc, that I likened to it in our chat was Dishonored. Dishonored's a similar style game to Metal Gear Solid. It's kind of a suspense, but it's also a stealth, and it's also an action. So it's a similar style game. If you sat down and you played Metal Gear Solid and you played Dishonored's 1,000 times better in terms of everything that they do. And that's not a knock against Metal Gear Solid at all. And my other question is, like, when you go to a game about Mega Man. Mega Man's one of my favorite series of all time. Mega Man 2 holds a special place in a lot of people's heart. I can't talk.
You cannot talk to that.
Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 4, all very important games. So when people ask me what my favorite Mega Man game is, I've been thinking about this for a while. You want to say Mega Man 2 is my favorite Mega Man game, or maybe Mega Man 4. But honestly, Mega Man 9 is a better Mega Man game.
Okay. They
do everything that the other ones did, but because of the hardware limitations, they can do everything better. They can make the music much more intricate and more detailed than they could in Mega Man 2. Because they're not doing 8-bit music. They're making it sound like 8-bit music. They can make these enemies that look 8-bit styled, but aren't really 8-bit styled, so they can make them stand out better and make them do different things, and the mechanics that they can do are way different. So technically, Mega Man 9's a better Mega Man. But if I were to say that, I just get shit on. Because people are like, whoa, what about and Mega Man 2 is more important. Mega Man 4 is more important. Mega Man 9's technically, I think, better overall. So where do you stand on how you rate these games? How do you compare them to each other?
So when you go through the history, I don't think you can really bring back that game from that time period because our how do I put this? So Stalin said it best. History is history, but in the moment, a collective minds rewrite history. Okay, that's what happens in the present. So history is history. We can't deny what actually happened back then. The scores actually came out. So yeah, I don't know. So I mean, like Metal Gear Solid, we use that. Great, phenomenal game back then. It was revolutionary in some aspects, kind of like Halo was, So you have these great titles that brought something fresh and everything to the industry. But what you can't do is when you take something out of that era and try to bring it 20 years later and be like, yeah, well, I mean, that was something, so I'm going to compare it to something 20 years ago, Things have changed. Hardware's changed. Coding's changed. Every tool set has changed. Many people think, oh, if I know C+ programming, I'm good to go. I can make a game. No. Everything evolves over time. I mean, if you're going to use C++, Python, if you're going to use Cold Fusion, if you're going to go into Unreal, if you're going to use Unity, Frostbite, whatever you're going to use to actually work and create these things, it's a totally different tool set. So it's going to give you a totally different experience each time, because you can't quite bring like the original Metal Gear Solid, how you want to, I mean, the box, the mechanics and everything else. It was something totally different. We weren't used to this ultra high resolution back then because back then we thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, you look at his polygon face with a pointed nose. You're just, we thought that was amazing, But now we're like, oh, I want to see his hair flow and I want to see his muscles bulge and I want to see sweat and all this, And so, no. If you get what I'm saying, people are like, when they're watching a basketball game, NBA, you're like, oh my God, you can see the pores in that player. Oh, look at the sweat coming out, But back then we're like, holy shit, look at that. He's on fire. NBA Jam, It's like it's apples to oranges in my opinion, to be honest.
The thing about gaming just I think it's strictly just the different mechanisms in the game. Because so if it's a strictly a story driven game, that can stand the time. Because if you look at something like movies, okay, you would look at something like Gone with the Wind and compare it to something now. Gone with the Wind is still going to beat that movie more often than not. But if you take and then if you start to dive into the technical aspects of it, and you look at something like the original like Clash of the Titans and try to compare that to anything, then you go, oh my God, that's terrible. That doesn't stand up. So when you try to break it down like that, I don't think you can. But if you were to try to just compare the stories of games from when we grew up, which few really had stories, let's be honest, to now, that's I think the only thing that can really be compared is the stories, because when you're talking about different gameplay mechanics, you can't. I mean, I don't think it's fundamentally fair to the older games to compare them to something like Horizon or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does, and that's a good point. And I know, so Dan pointed out in the chat. And this is a really good point, and it's a counterpoint to what I'm saying. BioShock came out. BioShock Infinite is technically a better game in the engine and the visuals, but BioShock is absolutely a better game, a better experience. But I don't think there's the leap in technology there that there is in the other games that I'm talking about. But BioShock's story is so much more intense or well written than Infinite is. That said, I don't want to say anything wrong about Infinite. I love Infinite. I love the story in BioShock Infinite a lot more than a lot of people do.
And you do love.
I do love me some Elizabeth.
Yes, you do.
But the game itself, BioShock did things that Infinite didn't. So I don't know. It does. It's just it's hard for me, and the reason I want to bring this up and talk about it is because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Because I want to say Mega Man 9 wouldn't exist without Mega Man 4.
Exactly.
But technically, I enjoy Mega Man 9 more.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, in the YouTube channel, like Diego says the OG Clash is the best. Yeah, great movie. I'm just talking about if you took the god-awful effects and then compared them to even a shitty movie nowadays, it's not fair to compare them because the technology just simply wasn't there. But, and then Native is asking, you know, The Godfather versus Gangs of New York, what's your guys' take? I do like both those movies, but I mean, Godfather's a classic. I mean, you can't really mess with Godfather. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Godfather is from, what, 78 or something like that? Whatever. But that story in Godfather can still stand the test of time because it didn't have to rely on, you know, something, you know, heavy technical advances. It didn't have to rely on that. So that can still stand the test of time against any movie that comes out now.
Right.
So.
Totally. Yep.
All righty.
Anyway.
So on to my poll. Oh, 72, according to Brother Bartram. Thank you. So wait.
Brother B.
Brother Bear. So
JJB.
to the new people checking out the show, what Alden was referring to in the last one is every week we do a poll and we ask you guys to help us go through our backlog of games and or movies. And we put that poll up on Twitter for 24 hours. At the end, we then play whatever it is and come back and tell you about it. So I have the poll this week. I'm just doing games, and I'm not like Alden did the one last week, and he said he was kind of sandbagging it. Like he kind of knew what was going to win. I'm throwing 3 PS4. I don't know if they're on other platforms. I'm sure they are. All of them are not very big titles because I want a reason to dive into a smaller title. I don't want to throw out. Hey, I haven't played The Witcher 3 yet. What do you say, guys? So the first title I've put a little bit of time into and I did like and I want to go back is Hue, H-U-E. I think that's on all platforms. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. The other one is an awesome side-scroller beat-em-up called Mother Russia Bleeds from Devolver Digital that I, again, did put some time into it. I need to go back to it. And the third one was an NES? No. It's A Boy and His Blob. Now, I'm talking about the PS4 version of it. What was that originally? Was that an NES? It was NES, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I played it on NES, and then I played it on Wii. I think they had the remake. But I never, ever put a whole lot of time into it. So I do have it on PS4, and it's a fun game. You know, it's one I can play when the kids are around and just have fun with it. So, like I said, I'm not putting big titles in here. So you guys can help me dive into some of my smaller titles. So, Hue, Mother Russia Bleeds, and A Boy and His Blob. What are you picking?
I'm gonna go with Hue. I don't know. See, when I make this pick, I don't know if I'm picking like the game I like more or the game I want you to like more. Hue, I loved so much. Hue is my kind of game, though.
Yes, it is.
Hue is a very thought-provoking platformer, which is my shit.
Yeah, it's right in your wheelhouse, right in your treehouse. I
think you would really love Mother Russia Bleeds, though.
Oh, I've put a little bit of time into Mother Russia Bleeds. I just like side-scroll beat 'em ups. Like they're just always fun. So, I'll be excited to play any of these three. But what about you, Doc?
I want to go with the A Boy and His Blob.
Nice.
I think that one's interesting. So I definitely go with that one. So I'll go at the other end of the spectrum.
All righty.
So I'll be a different tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So Umpy says Celeste is amazing.
Yeah, I just want to if you're saying that in response to me saying I love thought-provoking 2D platformers, go back and listen to a few episodes ago. I know you're new to the show, so check it out. I love Celeste so much.
Yep.
Celeste is one of my favorite games I've played in the last 2 years. So I agree 100%.
You got some on your Twitch channel too.
I did stream myself playing a couple of levels of it. So I was going to do all of it, but nobody watched any of it. So I got 2 levels.
I watched for a little bit.
That's true. Thank you.
Yay. Well, awesome.
Yep. Good show.
Good show.
Awesome, guys. Well, Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I know there's a few little issues, but it really means a lot to Brandon, Alden, and I that you all come out. And I want to welcome all the new people that came out to watch the show. So thank you. We always trying to reach out and spread the message of positivity. We do things here differently at Digital Hoarders than other shows. So we hope that you guys stick around, be with us. We're at episode number 27. We know that we have a really cool guest that I'm excited about coming up soon. Not going to talk about it yet, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. So,
and we do have a guest coming next week too. Don't forget. Next week we can talk about because we'll tweet it out. If you guys are familiar with him on YouTube, his YouTube handle is Corn Shack Gaming, so CORNSHAQ Gaming. What I like about him, he's got like 27,000 subscribers on Twitter. That's what you like about him? That's that's the only thing I like about him. The guy's terrible, but he's got no. So, but what I like about him is I like to play a lot of weirder, smaller indie games that people kind of glance over. Mm-hmm. I shit you not. Every time I Google a review or something for one of these tiny little titles, it's always him. It's always him, and he gets right to the point. I like his content. He's a positive guy, and he's played fucking everything. So I think it'll be fun to have on here to talk about, what's it like reviewing a game that's garbage from the jump, and you gotta push through, stuff like that. I think it'll be a fun episode. So he'll be on next week. So we will tweet that out. And then, like Doc said, we do have some other guests that we are trying to line up here as well.
Most definitely. So yeah, guys, feel free to look back through our backlog. I got to get on the process of uploading more of the videos from my old YouTube to our new YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube if you're watching there, or the Mixer. Either both, it's great. But I'll get those up there. But yeah, some of our past guests have been Chris Thompson from the Washington Redskins, the running back. We've had Richard Lico, the guy who animated the mouse for Moss. We've had David Preen from Xbox, just to name a few. So we're there. We're actually, we just love sharing great times. We talk games, it's not always business. So if you guys need to reach out to us, us on Twitter, go ahead and message us on either platforms. And for those that are listening on iTunes, Google, all that stuff, thank you. Have a great week. Gentlemen, any closing remarks before I take up the last hours?
#Hoard on.
Game on, bro.
Yeah. I like that Brandon tweeted about the sale, and he on Twitter he tweeted about the PSN sale. Yeah. And he said #Hoard on it, and I was just like, did you mean that as a hard-on pun? And he was like, no, but now I do.
Yeah. As soon as I hit tweet, I was like, that looks, screw it. It's out there now.
Hoard on.
Hoard on, baby.
All right. Much love, everyone. You guys have an amazing, amazing week. And we will see you back here next Wednesday around 3:30-ish, 6:30-ish. Have a great one.
Later.